welcome to the Book Talk Babes podcast, where we will be discussing different book-related topics and occasionally specific books. This episode will contain explicit language and may contain spoilers, so please check the episode description for a list of books that were spoiled. My name is Ashley, and today I'm joined by my lovely friend, Elaine.
Hello.
Welcome, new listeners. Thank you, returning listeners. Today's topic is going to be 10 books that we hope to finish by the end of the year, or read by the end of the year.
Yes.
2024. Okay. Do you want to go first? You said you were excited.
I am, yeah. Well,
Okay.
for like one of them.
Okay.
Because I just came across this one like a couple days ago, and it's one of those like funny titles.
Okay.
So I'm really excited for it. I really want to try to read this one. And it's called All I Wanted Was Sushi, but I got abducted by aliens instead. And it's by Petra Palermo.
Okay.
Which I found out is an author that is attending Monster Erotica Con. So I was like, okay, I definitely got to read this one.
Yeah.
But I love the title. So I really want to read it.
I love these fun titles that people keep coming
Yes.
out with.
Yes.
Now I feel like I got to pick a fun one for my first one. I'm going to go out of order of what I wrote them down in. Okay, we'll go with The Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson.
Mm-hmm.
That one got recommended to me after I read Bride, because I was like, I need more books that deal with certain situations.
Yes.
Like nodding. 2 minutes in and I've already said something sort of inappropriate. But yeah, The Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson. All I know about it is they have to pretend to be mates. So kind of like fake dating, but they're both like werewolves. They both work. I did read the sample. So they both work at like the same hospital or whatever. And all I know is that she wants to fake date to get her grandma or someone to leave her the hell alone and stop setting her up on dates.
Oh.
And then he needs a fake mate to get the like board of directors to not try to get him to get rid of his job because he's like an alpha or something. I don't know the world building yet, but that's all I know. So yeah, Fake Mate. The Fake Mate.
The Fake Mate.
Okay, your turn.
Okay. Well, it's funny that you said that one, because my next one is Bride by Allie Hazelwood. That's one that I really want to read as well. And The Fake Mate. I didn't put that on my list, but I really like to read The Fake Mate as well.
It's in the front of my face. That's why I picked it.
Yeah. I like I guess it's like the Omegaverse.
Yeah.
I've mostly read Omegaverse in like BL mangas that I've read, and a few fan fiction.
Okay.
So I've read that world, but I haven't actually read anything in like, I guess,
it doesn't
like
seem. Yeah.
In like the setting of like Bride or The Fake Mate, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be like a big like element that's in a lot of traditionally published books. I'm sure I could find some self-published ones if I looked hard enough, but your girl is tired and busy.
Yeah.
This one was hand-fed to me, and I need the others. If you have any suggestions,
yes,
send them our way. Email, DM, I don't care. We'll get the message some way or another. But if you have any Omegaverse or like nodding werewolf shifter stuff, send it to me.
Yes.
I need it. Okay. This one's been on my TBR for, I think, since last year. I feel like it's been since last year. It's a nonfiction. It is Off with Her Head by Eleanor Herman. I think I mentioned it like in one of our earlier episodes. Because like the full title is Off with Her Head, 3,000 Years of Demonizing Women in Power. So I'm sure it'll make me angry, but I want to read it. It's on my bedside table, so hopefully I'll try a little harder. I just thought of one that we should put on here. And if maybe you have it on your list.
What was it?
Maybe not. A Little Life.
Oh, no, I didn't put that on my list.
I didn't either. It is on my bedside table also.
Yeah, that one's right next to my little reading corner.
I may get the audiobook of that just so I can say I finished it. We'll see. We'll see.
I know. I was
I
telling
don't know if I
myself I
wanna
should
waste-
at least finish maybe chapter 2 and then decide that if I want to
I don't even know
continue.
if I'm in chapter 2. I don't remember where I'm at. I have not. Okay. Tangent. So you are ahead of me in A Little Life, and you said like, oh, this one part, and you said what page number it was, like, was really sad, whatever. And the other day I picked up the book and I started reading around that part just to see what was happening. And I was like, well, this is more interesting than where I'm at. And I'm like, should I just skip ahead? I won't. I won't. I will go back to where I left off. But that was sad. Didn't make me cry, but it was sad.
Yeah, it's not like a cry, but
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh.
Yeah, it sucks. Okay. Tangent over. What's your next one?
My next one is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. I'm told it gives off I think it's this one that gives off Howl's Moving Castle vibes.
Ooh, okay.
And like a mixture of like, I think Pride and Prejudice as well, because I think it's about Regency.
Okay.
Romance.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I heard Howl's Moving Castle, and I love Howl's Moving Castle, so I was like, okay.
That sounds fun.
But I've heard a lot of really good stuff about it, so I'm very interested in reading that one. I've been wanting to read it for a while now, so it's like hopefully by the end of the year I'll have read it.
I know. We made these lists, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, can I do all this by the end of the year?
Right.
I know I can. I
know. I feel like it's still a little bit early to
It
like
is,
maybe
yeah.
it's possible. Yeah.
It's definitely something that could be done. I just need to get my shit together. That's the challenge. Okay, my next one is gonna be A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab.
Oh, okay.
Just the third book in the Darker Shades series. So I have it, and I almost started it, but we moved on. We did something else, and that took priority over reading it. I don't remember what it was. The world may never know. But that one's way thicker than the other two.
Yeah, I think I came in at work the other day and I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that when I got it.
I also have a V.E. Schwab book on my list.
Oh, okay.
And it should be the second book of A Darkest Shade of Magic, but instead it's Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I sort of started this book, I think last year, and then I stopped because I decided I wanted to read something else at the time.
Okay.
So it's like I want to try to finish this book because it was interesting, but I think there was another book that came out that I wanted to read instead. So, and then I just haven't gotten back to it.
Okay.
So.
I've heard really good things about that one.
Yeah, and then I think she's making a third book to it, and it's supposed to come out I think next year.
Oh.
I thought it was just a duology, but
yeah,
I saw that there's a third one coming out. So.
Okay. I wonder Excuse me, it's been a long day.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's kind of a similar situation to because like she wrote the trilogy for Darker Shades, and then one of her newer books that just came out, Threads of Power, is also like in the Darker Shades
Yeah,
universe or whatever. So I wonder if it's same situation, like she's going back to that
probably.
world, even if she hadn't originally intended
Mhm.
to do that.
Well, yeah, I don't know if she planned it or not, but
Um, okay, Starter Villain by John Scalzi. Probably saying that wrong. Scalzi.
oh, Scalzi.
Scalzi. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know what this book's about at all. It's got a cat in a suit on the cover.
Oh, okay. I was like, that sounds
You
familiar.
may have seen it, yeah.
Yeah.
He was at the Texas Book Festival
Hmm.
last year, and I saw him speak at like a panel thing or whatever. So we got his book afterwards. We didn't get it signed because we went to another speaking thing right after that, and I don't. Yeah, I have some issues with how they do their scheduling, but whatever.
Hmm.
That's how it is, I guess. I
Hmm.
think all the like they do like the panel and then they do signings like immediately after. But I think they also have like scheduled times for those authors to have signings as well in case you can't like make that one, but we weren't going to be there for his signing later, so I was like, okay, that's fine. Again, I have no idea what it's about. I don't remember. I know we talked about it. I feel like it has some sort of sci-fi kind of aspect to it, or maybe some just sort of fantasy. I don't know. It's got to. There's a cat with a suit, so something's going on
Right?
that's
Yeah.
not normal, in my opinion. But yeah, that one's been sitting on my windowsill now since last November, so I should probably get to that.
So my next one is going to be it's a hockey romance, but
Ooh.
I think it's like a BL hockey romance.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And it's called Winging It by it has two authors, Ashley Kane and Morgan James.
Okay. That sounds
Um
familiar.
I think I bought this ebook. I think I bought all three of them like last year.
Okay.
And so it's like I want to start reading them. I keep looking at them, but I keep passing them on my Kindle. So hopefully I'll get to read it this by the end of this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hockey. I feel like I don't know. Hockey romances are really popular. I
Hmm.
found I can't think of the name of it. I'll have to see if I can find it. There is a wife of I think a retired Seattle Kraken player or something, or I know he played for the Seattle Kraken, and she goes on TikTok and like she reads like some hockey romances, and then
Hmm.
like will tell you like what parts of them are actually like real and like what parts are just like no. Cuz like
Hmm.
a lot of them, any of the ones that I've read, it always talks about how like, because they're athletes and they're professional athletes, like they got these meal plans and blah blah blah, and they eat very strictly and whatever. And I guess there's a clip from her. She's like, yeah, I mean, they have a meal plan. He doesn't know what it is. He just eats whatever he wants. Like he's over here eating chicken fingers and whatever. I was like, okay, that's
It's
freaking
funny.
hilarious. So yeah, I found her on TikTok and I was like, okay, I'm gonna follow her. But I do like sports romances. They're pretty good.
Mhm.
I'm seeing a recurring theme with some of my titles. Okay, we'll go with this one. If You Tell by Greg Olson. This is a book my sister and I have talked about reading together. Um, it I can't remember if it's based on a true story or what the deal was, but it's basically I think it's like two siblings, two sisters of either like witness a murder, something about a murder. And then what the hell? It's supposed to be like a thriller mystery kind of thing, and I am butchering what it's about. Because like there's like the full title is okay, yeah. If you tell a true story of murder, family, secrets, and the unbreakable bond of sisterhood. So it's like okay, so it's more than 10 years have passed. Oh, there's 3 sisters. Oh. Oh, that got really dark. Okay. So yeah, there's 3 sisters. Sounds like their mom really sucks and bad things happen. I'm assuming they witnessed a murder or maybe they murdered someone. I'm not sure. I stopped reading the description. But that is one my sister told me about. And I was like, yeah, let's read it.
Yeah.
Didn't realize it was a little dark there. Okay, brighten up our conversation, Elaine.
Already.
Since I just took us down a dark tunnel, apparently.
My next read will be Meddling Kids by Edgar Cantero.
Okay.
I think could be Cantero.
That sounds cute.
Cantero sounds better.
Yeah.
It is a Scooby-Doo like inspired
No.
like book, yes. Like you meddling kids.
Yes.
So it's meddling kids. Yeah, because I think I read like the very first like little page of it when I saw it, and I think it like starts off with like showing you a newspaper of them solving this mystery.
Okay.
And then I think it's like several years later, so they're all grown up. But like this mystery that they solved, like kind of like traumatized them, and so now they're like back, and I think they have to solve the mystery again. But then they have to kind of like revisit the trauma that they went through as well.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of interesting. So I'm interested.
Yeah,
in
that
reading
sounds fascinating.
it. Yeah.
You had me at Scooby Doo.
Yeah, I know, right? I was just like Scooby Doo. Okay.
Yeah, I was like grew up watching Scooby Doo
Yes, I
all
love
the
Scooby-Doo.
time. Like even my sister sent me a Snapchat the other day. She's like, put my favorite Scooby Doo movie on for her dog Sue. And it was like, I think it was Scooby Doo and the Witches something, or I can't remember what it was now. It was just like, yeah, we grew up watching that all the time.
Yeah, me too. I love Scooby.
I don't care what anyone says; those movies were good.
Yes.
The first ones that came out, I don't remember what year that was. Early 2000s, right? Probably.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Okay. This one is How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristen Piran. Piran. I also have just it's kind of hard to tell anybody what these books are about because I generally don't read what books are about. I look at the cover, and if it looks cute, then I get it.
Totally judge a book by its cover.
Yes, all the time. Or if it has a good title.
Right. Yes.
This one, I think, if I remember correctly, don't quote me on this, people. I'm pretty sure it's about this. So it's about this woman who, I forget what year it is, but her and her friends go to like a county fair or whatever, and she goes to like the fortune teller, and the fortune teller like tells her like you're gonna be murdered and whatever, and she's like, oh great, okay. So she spends a lot of her life like expecting to be murdered. Like she believes the fortune, so she's expecting to be murdered, but she doesn't know when. And she just compiles like all this information about all these people like in the village or town or whatever that she lives in. And she does end up dying, but she's much older. Like she's got grandkids, and she leaves her house, I think, to one of her granddaughters. And of course her granddaughter shows up and like is going through her things, and then finds out like her grandmother knew she was going to be killed, and like left all this stuff to help her, like wanting her to like figure out her grandma's murder for her or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Or the grandma wants the granddaughter to figure out the murder, and like left all the clues and the things about everybody in the town. So hopefully I remembered that correctly. If not, there is a book that has that same premise but with a different title.
Sounds very interesting though.
I think it's that one.
Yeah.
I know. I was like, oh, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
Like, apparently she like spent pretty much her whole life just like collecting like secrets and gossip about other people in town, so it would help her granddaughter or whoever try to solve her murder. So it's definitely one I want to get to. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. My next one is The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic by Brienne Randall. And this one, I've been told, gives off Practical Magic and Gilmore Girls like vibes. So I love Practical Magic.
All right, people, don't come for me, but I don't think I've ever actually seen Practical Magic all the way through.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've watched this so many times. Yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah.
I think it's a book. I don't know if it's a... I know Practical Magic is a book by Alice Hoffman.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't know if it's like... if the movie's based off the book.
Yeah.
Or if like she made a book based off the movie. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could go either way.
Yeah. Because I didn't know it was a book until like I started working at a bookstore, basically.
Yeah. I feel like I saw someone post about it and I was like, wait, what? But yeah, I always hear about Practical Magic, and I know like the clips and I know like the people that are in it, but I have never actually watched it. I've also never watched Gilmore Girls.
I've never watched Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
But I love Practical Magic. I've watched that so many times.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
It's so good.
I'm gonna have to watch that. I've got so many movies I need to watch.
Halloween's coming up. Maybe you'll be on streaming.
Make a priority for it. Yeah. Okay, that sounds fun. I feel like off recording told me about that one as a possible like monthly pick or something, right?
It was possibly one of my monthly picks.
I was like, the title sounds familiar, but I couldn't remember for sure.
Yeah, it's one of the ones I'm like thinking about for October, because October is my month. So that's part of my 3 that I have that I'm like, what should I read?
Okay, that would be perfect. That would be perfect. Yeah, I totally I cheated this month for us.
You're right.
If you want to read the book that we're going to discuss in September, it is Where the Wild Things Are.
That is a banned book that like we get the most of people being like, what? That's crazy that it's banned.
When you read the reasons why it's banned, it's even more crazy.
Yeah.
The rabbit hole I have of going down for research for that episode, because that's going to be like our banned book. Or it's going to come out the week of banned book week or whatever. So it'll be a generalized conversation about banned books. And then I focus mostly on this one. But yeah, the reasons for it being banned, I'm just like, what? Where? How?
Yeah.
Why? Like, I can see some of the reasons. They're kind of a stretch. I'm not going to go into them right now. But yeah.
Look forward to that. We'll go a bit more deeper into it.
Yes. I had a lot of sun exposure today, y'all. My brain's all over the place. Is it my turn? Your turn. My turn.
It's your turn.
My turn. I've had a couple on here that have to do with killing. I promise I'm not. It's not something I'm planning.
Into the spooky season.
Yeah, we'll go with that. It's the start of the Burr months, so it's like this next one is Murder Your Employer by Rupert Holmes.
Oh yes, I want to read that one too.
I literally have no idea what it's about.
No, just the
I just
title.
like the cover.
It does have a pretty cover as
It has a
well.
very
Yeah.
pretty cover. Also, like, I don't know. I have a toxic relationship with my job, so sounds great. But yeah, I really liked the cover. I think it was also one of like I got it at Barnes and Noble, and I feel like it was one of their monthly picks or something. So it was on like a display, and then the lady at the checkout was talking about like how it had really good like promotional stuff that they were given. So like she said in the break room they were given a thing that was like or I think they put it in their break room, but they got it when they got the shipment. It was like, don't let your employees read this book.
Oh, that's
or
funny.
whatever. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Okay. You sold me. Even though I mean I was already paying for it. But I don't feel bad about my decision.
Yeah.
So hopefully that one's fun.
Okay. My next one is Iron Widow by
Yes.
I should have looked up how to say her name. Xiran J Zhao.
I wrote it down for some one of,
Iran is the first
yeah.
name. I'm sorry if I butchered it. But she's great.
Yeah.
And I've heard nothing but good stuff about this book. And the second book I think is coming out the end of this year in November.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So it's been on my TBR at least since last year. So I'm hoping to read this book this year, and I'm doing an A through Z challenge with author names. So this will be my
okay.
X.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
Yeah.
I can get to this one by the end of the year.
Highly recommend it.
Yes.
I don't think you'll be disappointed.
No.
If anything, you're doing this better than I did because now I had to wait for a long time for the second book. Yeah. Not as long as other people because there was a big pause between the first and second books because the publisher didn't want to pay her for her work or whatever. So good for her knowing her worth.
Yes.
But like fucking sucks for us.
I know.
having to wait. But I think it's supposed to just be a duology, right?
I think so.
So the second book should be the end. I think. Okay, my next one is Dreadful by Caitlin Razakis. I don't know why I picked so many difficult names to say. I guess I didn't pick that many. But this one, again, no idea what it's about. It has a cute cover. It had sprayed edges, and it was on display next to Assistant to the Villain, which I really, really like. And I'm reading the second one right now, and it was on there as like a cozy, like fantasy kind of thing. So if it wasn't so low in the stack, I would look it up. I guess I can look it up on my phone. Okay, I'm just going to read the first line of what it says on the description. It's bad enough waking up in a half-destroyed evil wizard's workshop with no eyebrows, no memories, and no idea how long you have been the dread lord whomever shows up to murder you horribly and then turn your skull into a goblet or something. What? Oh, it's a lot worse when you realize that dread lord whomever is you. So I guess there was an accident and they don't remember who they are. Okay. Yeah. No, I have to read this. This sounds so funny and cute. Yeah. I just was like, wait, your eyebrows are gone? Well,
sounds like an explosion happened. And
yeah. But yeah, I love like, it sounds like the same kind of like fun chaos that Assistant to the Villain is and Apprentice to the Villain. So I definitely, maybe I'll move that one up the list. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, yes.
Your turn.
My next one is one that I've been really wanting to read, It is called The Dragon's Bride by Katie Robert. It's monster romance, and he's supposed to have two peens.
Mm-hmm. According to the art that I have a picture of that she commissioned, it does.
Oh, really? That's funny.
I haven't read it, but I do have that picture on my phone.
Funny. But yeah, it's something I've been wanting to read for a really long time. And I just haven't gotten to it. And I think it's a very short read. Like, I think it's
Yeah,
under 200 pages.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So yeah, hopefully I'll read it by the end of this year.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah.
I also there's so many books.
I know there's so many, like
so many books, not enough time.
so many.
Like this is we're like, do 10. I'm like, okay, I can do 10. I'm like, I've got so many.
Yes. I know I tried to just do the first 10 that like kind of popped up on my mind, or like that I own. But there's a lot more that I don't own.
Like
that I want to read.
I've got 27 books on my like windowsill here. That's all, where like, I picked most of the 10 from. But yeah, I have not read a single one of these. And like I told you before we were recording, I have 2 books coming from Book of the Month.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
That doesn't include all the other books I have in the other room I haven't read.
No.
Oh, I have a problem, but I'm an adult and I refuse to put myself on like a book buying ban because
I know. I tell myself to try not to, and then it just doesn't work out.
I know. I try to be really, really good. I have not gotten anything from Book of the Month in a while. I'm trying to be very selective of like, oh, do I really, really want that? Am I going to read it? Like, the only reason I got 2 books this time was because there was actually 2 on the list I was very interested in. And so I picked the one and then I was like, I'm going to see how much the other one costs, like at regular booksellers and all that kind of stuff. And it was more expensive. So I was like, okay, I get it. It was a deal. There was a discount.
Yeah.
That's how I tell myself to, or what I tell myself to justify the purchase. Which it sounds like I need to come see you at work. How long's that sale going on for?
I think the last day is Monday.
Monday? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot I'm off on Monday.
Yeah, for Labor Day.
Yeah. I mean, this will come out after that, but that's okay. That's whatever. Ooh, I might do that. I have your bookmark I need to give you.
Oh, yes, that's right.
It was free.
Free.
And it's got all the books on the back.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Yeah. I tried to look
wrote the third book on my list, but I didn't.
Yeah,
I will definitely read that one by the end of this year. I will.
That time I got drunk and saved a human.
Yes.
I love you so much. Yeah, I saw the bookmark and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get that free, Lane. I tried to look and see if they had like some nameplates that were signed by different authors, but I didn't see hers. So I was gonna get you some. It was madness for that whole romance book thing. Like there were people walking around that were like, why is there so many people here? And like the people working there were like, oh, it's romance bookstore day. And I'm just like, you mean to tell me the store isn't this busy all the fucking time?
Right?
Like, oh my god, I gotta stop coming out here on events or author signings. Driving there is already like terrifying.
Yeah,
because I don't like driving downtown.
Me either. It's just past the river, so it's like maybe I'll go.
It's not, yeah. It's not the worst. And if you go, like, if I go early enough, it's not so bad. But, like, I mean, even last time I was there, like, I got there early, but I left, after the city has started to wake up more. And so there was a little bit more traffic, like, driving back. And I'm just like, The roads are so small. Nobody knows how to drive. I
I
don't know what
know.
are turn lanes. And
Mhm.
then I picked up food for me and my husband, and I ended up doing some illegal driving because I turned at the wrong place, but whatever. There's no proof. Nobody can prove that sign said do not enter.
That's funny.
Unless there's a camera somewhere. Oh, wow. I made it. Is it my turn? Is it your turn?
Yeah, it's your turn. I just
It's
went.
my turn? Okay.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. My next one, how many do you have left?
I think it's just one more. Right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Because I got two more. Okay. So my next one will be One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen this one everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone keeps talking about it. I've seen multiple people say like it's their favorite book this year.
Mm-hmm.
One of their favorite fantasies they've ever read. So I bought it.
Yeah, I think I own
No
the ebook.
idea, again, what it's about.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that it gets very high praise.
Exactly.
And it is one that I want to read too.
It is funny. I am realizing, I don't know anything about any of the books that I say I want to read. It makes it more exciting that way, not knowing what it's about.
Yeah. I kind of like going in completely blind.
I will say though, there's been at least two instances where I have not read what a book is about, and as I'm reading it, I'm like, what? And my mind gets blown by something, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I read what it's about, and I'm like, oh, this is just general knowledge that everybody knew going into it if they had read.
Yeah.
So like the first time I read Crescent City, like someone dies pretty early on. I was like, holy shit. And then you go and read it and you're like, oh,
It tells
well,
you.
it tells you that happens. Okay. And then the other one was The Dead Romantics.
Oh.
The first time I read that, I was like, wait, what? Is this some sort of paranormal thing?
I think I went into that too. I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. I think the One Last Stop too was one of the ones
I didn't know about that one until you told me.
Yeah. I started reading and I was like, wait, what? And then I read the back and I was like, oh, it tells you. And I was like, okay.
Yep. Okay. Your next one.
Yes.
Or your last one.
So this one is called Jacked Up by Larexa Nova.
Mm-hmm.
They are an author for the Monster Erotica Con 2 that I want to read. And it's
You're approaching this so smartly, and I feel like I should be doing the same. I need to read more authors that are going to that thing other than just Victoria.
I know, I'm trying to fit more into it. I'll
just follow you around and hold your books for you.
This one, I think it's a sentient object romance.
Ooh, okay.
Because I think he's a jack-in-the-box. And
no!
I've heard really good stuff. I think it's a dark romance, so I'm a little iffy to read it. But I've heard some pretty good stuff about it, so I was like, maybe I'll give this a try.
I do not like Jack in the Boxes.
I know.
I do not like those. It has a lot to do with a lot of childhood trauma, but my dad had something worse than a Jack in the Box. It was something he created, and it was in this long wooden box, and one side was like wood on the top, and the other side was like a mesh thing, and he had some like hay in there, and then like a little like cutout. There was like a piece of wood that went down through the middle and a little cutout, so like a little creature would be, could go in and out of that space and be in the covered part or in the open part. And it had this little if you open up the wood part on the top, inside was this like wooden stick attached to like a mouse trap on one end, and on the other end, the one facing up, was like a string with like a little like fluffy tail. So he would put the piece of wood down that's attached to the mousetrap. So there's tension. And you put the little tail through the hole. So you just see the end of the tail through the mesh on the other side. Hopefully this is making sense. And then you'd close the lid and you'd turn the little, he had like a little nail thing that turned on it to keep it closed. And he'd go up to people and be like, oh, you want to see this thing I caught, whatever. And so people would come up and look at it, and they're looking at it from the mesh. And when they get close, he'd move the nail. So the wood would open, the mousetrap would, engage and fling this tail at somebody. It was terrifying to begin with. And then once I finally got comfortable with it, I was like, I'm going to do it to somebody. Well, my little child brain, I was way too close. I got knocked in the face.
Oh, no.
That thing, I got someone over there to scare them. I moved the nail. I guess because I'm tiny at that time, didn't, I was like hovering over it too. And so, yeah, that wood thing opened and that fucking wood bar just came up and smacked me right in the jaw.
Oh, no. Oh.
That's okay. So, yeah, Jack in the Box is frightening.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
I love you.
It reminds me of one of those, isn't there like one of those like boxes where like it opens and like a spider jumps out and jumps back in?
Oh, fuck.
Those
probably.
Ones, it's like remind.
Yeah, no. Okay, so my last book is Love Bites by Amy Vance and B. Perkins. It doesn't have a release date just yet, just fall 2024, but it is the second book in the Timber Creek series. And the two main characters, the female main character is a wolf shifter who owns a bakery / bookstore in the little town that she lives in Timber Creek, Colorado. And the main male interest is a half vampire, half angel.
Oh,
I can't wait.
Half vampire.
I mentioned this one before. And in our last episode,
maybe, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was our last episode. one of the recent episodes I mentioned this. But yeah, I am so excited because like the angels kind of like run legal stuff for the supernatural community, and they've just recently, like, the supernatural community has been outed basically to normal humans, but Timber Creek is like a special, like, kind of protected, it's got magical wards and things like that. And so that's where she lives, and she is the sister of the main male character from the first book. So like his whole family lives there, and I'm assuming the whole family, each one's gonna get a book, I hope. But yeah, so she's the next one getting a book. And yeah, I have no idea what we're gonna do with this. I need to know how this angel became part vampire also. Like,
yeah, I'm really interested in how
did this happen? Yeah. And like he's got, most of the angels have like these like pristine white wings and like, or gray. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, his wings are black.
Oh, okay. Because he has to be a different color.
Yeah. So I'm assuming it's because of the vampire stuff, but yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Okay. Do you have anything else? Okay. As always, thank you, listener, for joining us. Please rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on our socials. We are Book Talk Babes Pod on Instagram and TikTok, and Book Talk Babes on Goodreads and StoryGraph. Email us topics, questions, and book recommendations to booktalkbabespod@gmail.com, or you can DM us on any of the socials. Everything is listed in the description. Have a lovely day and week. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.